What is market basket analysis? That is when we are purchasing a product from any retail store like Big Bazaar, Home Depot, Walmart, Shoppers Stop, Moore, Reliance Fresh. For that reason, a place or organized retail store where all types of variety in product is available, and in that variety there they have frequency or the maximum number of people prefer to specific bunch of products to be purchased on regular basis. That means if other products resale or other products stock required is once in a month, few products are of a nature that their stock always required to be kept in higher quantity, or that retailer has to sell in maximum quantity certain products, getting sold certain products in maximum quantity. So this market basket analysis, what we do when we go for shopping, either we make use of cart or we carry one bag or basket. In simple language, what we have to say, what is included in our basket, that decides our buying habit, buying behavior. And this particular thing is relevant with frequency of our product buying on regular basis. Based on that data of large number of customers, we are as a retailer have to do analysis, and based on that analysis, what we say, number of products in that particular category required to be kept in stock in additional quantity. So this is what relevant with market basket analysis. In introduction, what I said is already mentioned. A large number of people used to visit shopping malls and shopping centers. Massive amount of data continuously being collected and stored as transactions. When customers are visiting a retail store, based on the stock available and based on the purchase done by customers, that data is kept in storage for data analysis, and based on that data analysis, what all are the existing products required more in quantity, and which products on account of customers less demand are lying in the shelf for longer duration than required is studied. And based on that collected data and its analysis, we can have more quantity of demand and more quantity of product which are in high demand. So those collected data can be useful from the business perspective. So these are, there are certain objectives to find frequently purchased item sets from large transactional database. What these are, which items are frequently purchased. There is one symbolic figure given here, which items are frequently purchased together by my customers. Who's saying this? A market analyst is saying this. Now, four customers, customer 1, 2, and 3, even customer in common, customer n, number of customers which are beyond anybody's count on account of time duration or number of customers visiting in a day. What customer 1 is purchasing here in his basket? He is purchasing milk, bread, and cereals. Cereals, you got it? Students, you are able to see what I am showing you? You heard my question? Hello students, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
And what on mobile screen I am showing you, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so customer one who visited the shop is purchasing milk, bread and cereal. Cereals for preparation of vegetables or fruit, milk and bread for morning breakfast. That way it is used for many purpose. Customer one is purchasing milk, bread, cereal. Customer two is purchasing milk, bread, sugar, eggs. Okay. Customer third is purchasing milk, bread, butter. And customer n after third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, then ninth, 10th, and then dot and customer n. Okay, is purchasing sugar and eggs. With this particular picture, I would like to ask you which products with these four baskets, 1, 2, 3rd, and nth basket are very commonly purchased. Please let me know.
Basket 2, sir. Customer 2.
Out of, by having average of all baskets, all four baskets average, what is most commonly purchased?
So basket 2, customer 2.
I am not talking of basket. You are not getting my question. When we are taking average,
Yes, sir.
what we do? All units divided by one particular thing. Now, with these all four baskets shown in picture, milk and bread is very common thing. What is purchased by people? Number one customer is also purchasing milk bread. Number two customer is also purchasing milk bread, including other product. Number third customer is also purchasing milk bread. Can't you see it? These are the most commonly purchased product. Now sugar and egg, they are second best. Then butter and cereal. Now what happens? Milk and bread always required to be kept in high quantity. Now what happens? Although they are frequently purchased product, there are certain challenges. Milk and bread are highly perishable product. What is meant by perishable? Please let me know. You have any idea what is meant by perishable and highly perishable?
So lifetime is very less in high perishable items.
Those products who are getting destroyed or not remaining of its use, intended use, on account of their nature, they may be in liquid form or vegetables or food, they are highly perishable. Now, although milk and bread are having high demand, very commonly purchased, very frequently purchased, but their freshness to maintain is again one costly procedure. When retailer is purchasing milk and bread, he need to keep them in favorable atmospheric condition. For that reason, he need cold storage facility. Even eggs also. So when he is having demand for milk, bread, egg, he has to provide cold storage facility, and it shouldn't appear stored for last 2 days, 3 days or more than that. It should appear fresh for customers. Now when he is selling all these products, certain percentage of his product kept have to spoil. Milk may get contaminated. Bread may get dry, or bread will not remain in its original condition after 24 hours or 48 hours. So freshness is always required when these type of products are kept in shopping basket. So this is what objective suggests for these particular market basket. Definition. What a definition mentioned here? The process of discovering frequent items sets in large transactional database is called market basket analysis. The process of discovering frequent item sets in large transactional database is called market basket analysis. By knowing the customer's trend of purchasing particular product in frequently, or by knowing the stock available, stock sold, and stock required, we can have market basket analysis. Every week, fortnight, or monthly, sale and stock statement of one retail store is taken out, and they are looking into which all are the products having the highest sale. Based on that sale, number of customers who are purchasing, or based on number or unit of that particular product, its demand is calculated, and in future sufficient stock is always kept. Apart from keeping sufficient stock, what all are the climatic requirements it is having? If it requires cold storage facility, if it requires dry climate, if it requires special packing, all these things are taken into consideration, and additional cost, what is required for its storage, is added into price. So these all factors are relevant with market basket analysis. Frequent item set mining leads to the discovery of associations and correlations among items. Association and correlation. We have already studied affinity of product and customer. Now association and correlations also. When person is purchasing milk, he is definitely purchasing bread. This is what we can see from this picture. A person buying milk, he is buying bread also. A person buying sugar, he is buying eggs also. A person buying milk, he is buying sugar also. These all are associations and correlations among items. So these factors are important for study in market basket analysis. Now, for finding frequent item sets, there is an algorithm. What it is? The a priori algorithm. Now, it is stepwise explained here with table also. This step simply scans all of the transaction in order to count the number of occurrences of each item, named it as C1. Named it as C1. Now what is here said in table? TID or list of items ID, T100 to T200, likewise T900. List of items here are 11, 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 13, 11, 12, 14, 11, 13, 12, 13, 11, 13, 11, 12, 13, 15, 11, 12, 13. Now we can very quickly assume that number 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of 9, 11 as a number is coming for 6 times. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 12 as a number given for item list coming for 7 times. Number 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, number 13 is coming for 6 times. So that way we have to take into consideration how frequently these particular products are coming in list. Now step 3, or what we can do here, scan D for count of each candidate. What is stated here? Number 11, as I told you, is coming for 6 times. Number 12 is coming for 7 times. Now compare candidate support count with minimum support count. Now item set 11 is having 6. Item set 12 is having 6. Item set 13 is having 6. Item set 14, 2, and 15, 2. So C1 and L1 is having super count. Now the third step in this particular count, to discover the set of frequent two items L2, the algorithm uses the join L1x into L1 into L1 to generate a candidate set of two item set and count the occurrence of each set. Now we will apply minimum support count on C2 and result will be two frequent item set L2. What is stated here? Generate C2 candidate from L1. Now item set 11, 12 comes at 4 count, 11, 13, 4 count, can be for count of each candidate. So that way these all items are included here. Which particular product are coming in frequency more, and based on that frequency they are having its stepwise analysis, and based on these figures, not for 1 day, not for 2 days, it may be having count for continuous 3 months, and based on this particular data made available or done from data analyst, they will have next 3 months or next financial year's purchase. They can have analysis like this for entire financial year, and based on this past experience they prepare for next annual year purchase and which product to be given priority for purchase and to be purchased in more quantity. Now step 5 is to generate two frequent item set. Generate 3 item using L2 into L2 and apply minimum support count, which will be 3 frequent item set. Now 11, 12 and 13 were having the maximum count and they are having super count of 2, 2 each. So that way they will continue until you get empty sets. Which is having the empty set, that is counted. Now application for cross selling of the items. Here we have particular set of items wherein frequently bought together. What it is? Those people who are buying book with author Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, they are buying books of Ignited Minds also. They are buying the same author's book and they are buying set of these 3 books all together. So this particular set of books is purchased when a particular customer is buying one book of Abdul Kalam. He is buying other 2 books also of Abdul Kalam. They are relevant with each other. That is what called as market basket. Now when a retailer has to sell books written by author Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, instead of keeping one book, he has to keep his other 2, 3 books which are written by him, whether as a co-author or main author. In that situation, a customer whose die-hard fan and reader of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's literature will buy another 2 sets of books also. This tendency, this strategy is relevant with market basket analysis. Now, here, what is written? Customers who bought this item of Abdul Kalam, Turning Point, then Ignited Minds. Other than that, they have bought also these 2 books, which are written by motivational speakers. And although the author was not APJ Abdul Kalam, they were written about APJ Abdul Kalam. Now what happens? A book which is very popular from an author, we like to buy it and we like to read it. When one book of one author becomes very popular, his other books also what he wrote previous to one popularity, previous to gain that popularity, also become best available in market and sold at the best quantity. And again, the popular author who wrote certain books and had its very good sale in the market, if other author is writing something about that author, that book is also getting sold. A popular author who's having 6-7 books on his name, of course they will have continuous sale in 10, 20 and 30 years down the line also. But when for the same author, if his autobiography is getting published, that autobiography also will be having very high sale. So this is what relevant with market baskets. We will take one more example. Shop clues, or what we say, a person buying wristwatch is buying belt also. Then he is buying shoes also. So this is what relevant with basket, market basket. A person buying belt is buying watch, wristwatch, is buying another one product like shoes, and all put together, if we compare its price in a set and giving how much? 75% discount. In this particular item, discount given is 75%. We can save total 2000 or 2,990 rupees. So total price was 2,200 something, and this deal price is 999 rupees. So these all factors are relevant with market basket. Most of these products, what they are sold here are online. Now, application, proper placement of items. When it comes to market basket, proper placement of items, what is shown in this picture? Look at the picture carefully. Students, you can see the picture. You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is written in picture? Please read someone. What is written at the upper board? It is easily readable.
Customers who bought this item.
Not buys, bought.
Bought, sorry.
Customers who bought this item.
Also bought.
That item is. That item is banana, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Customers who bought banana, they also bought vegetables, ghee, and milk also. Got it? This is what shown here. Proper placement of items. Market basket requires proper placement of items in rack. Now, when you are standing opposite to a rack, at the top or straight away, just like a line, at the uppermost rack or upper portion of the rack, which can be easily touched by you, by your hand, what category of products are kept there? Any idea you have? Perhaps you don't. Those products which are easily able to be picked up from rack, most of the time, all newly launched products are kept there. Retailer want to establish all new brands coming in the market and having audio visual effect on customers' mind. Those products should be kept easily available, easily visible, easy to pick up, easy to take in your hand, so that customers will have attraction for them. Customers will not have any inconvenience to pick them and to check them. They can see them, they can taste them, they can smell them, they can have them in their hand. And vice versa, if they are kept at the bottom of the rack, last compartment of the rack, nobody else will look at them. Nobody is bothered to bend down and take them for checkup or take them as for sake of query. Now, almost all items which are very popular and sold very frequently, they are kept in the middle and bottom, because these items don't need any heavy promotion, heavy advertising. People don't know Lux as a bath soap and its image. Whether you keep it in middle of the rack or bottom of the rack, it is easily picked up by customers and put into their basket. So what is stated here? Proper placement of items, new items, popular items, items not selling much, items required to be liquidated, which are having nearby expiry in next 3 months, in next 6 months. These all category of products with retailer have to be liquidated. Otherwise, expired items will have certain cost to retailer also. So that way they have to make proper placement of items. Fraud detection, whichever is kept in racks and by size, that is small one, a customer can take it up and put in his purse or put in his pocket. A person in hot summer wearing winter jacket is suspected by retailers. They are observing retailers' all activities and movement. And when products are kept in proper manner, whichever is taken away from that bunch, it is easily observed. All floor assistants are not running behind these retail customers. It looks awkward also. It is not to be visualized or made realized to customers that they are being watched by other people. They have to set free. They should feel free. They should enjoy their shopping. And along with this, keeping watch on them without their knowledge is also important. So detect fraud, these all particular things are also important. Customer behavior, how customers behave when they are coming in the retail store on first floor, second floor, third floor. Now their layouts of retail store are of such a size that they will have one round of entire retail store, not like any unorganized retail store where they have to stand outside the counter. They don't have any freedom. They don't have any what we say choice given to them that they will take bath soap in their hand, they will smell it and they will keep it again in the rack. No, in our unorganized retail store, shopping for entire month is a tedious activity. They just have to stand there. They have to wait for their turn to come. Then they will pack up all the things listed and they will pay the money for whatever they bought and they will leave from that retail store. It's physically stressing and tedious one. Mentally getting tired, physically and mentally a customer is getting tired. To the contrary, when he is visiting retail store and having carton very easily movable, however you load it, you can move it front and rear as and when you want. And in that situation, when he is having round of entire floor, one or the other item which is easily visible to his eyes and at the height of his eyes, he is just taking it, feeling that in future, next 15 to 20 days or 1 month, this particular product may be of his use, and he is again putting it into basket or cart, what we can say. And that way, customers' behavior is observed. How much impulse buying without any plan, buying without making any list is done, that is observed. Affinity promotion. This is what we have yesterday talked in detail. Affinity promotion, where shoes are kept for sale at the same place. At the same place, socks also will be kept. Where battery or torch is kept to be used during night time, to be used in power cutoff. At the same place, chargeable or recyclable batteries also are kept. There are certain products which are coming in garment category, where shirts are kept, pants are very near to those shirts. A person having plan of buying 2 shirts, it's quite possible after having 2 shirts into his possession, he will think of buying 1 or 2 pants also. So these all factors are relevant with affinity promotion coming into basket analysis. Now, this summary of market basket analysis is discovering frequent item sets, application of frequent item sets. These all factors are required to be studied. And in such way, market basket analysis suggests us that when you are having customers regular visit to your retail store, in that situation, you have to observe their behavior. You have to study as if you are doing certain research work. Now, whenever most frequently purchased products may be belonging to FMCG category, maybe from food category, maybe from cheaper prices, there are certain products, although they are not FMCG products nor food category product, on account of their low price, that may be staple pin, rubber band, or some stationery items like pen, pencil, eraser, sharpener, scale, they are purchased on frequent basis. Again, they have affinity also, or market basket also. A student who is purchasing set of 10 pencils, HB pencils, definitely he will buy 1 sharpener and 1 eraser also. Am I correct? A student who's buying set of 5 or 10 Natraj pencils or whatever brand it may be, he will be buying sharpener and eraser also, isn't it? This is what called as affinity between customer and product. So that way, when customers are having purchase, there are certain possibilities which are calculated and given for affinity class and market basket. Apart from market basket analysis, one important factor which is not mentioned here, I would like to give you bit explanation, that is shoplifting. You have any idea shoplifting? And in a country like USA, shoplifting is costing retailers almost $1.4 million per year. Heard of this word shoplifting? No idea?
No, sir.
Okay, this is very simple. Theft from shop. Certain items, although are of small size, they are costly, and hiding them inside our cloth, hiding them and at a place which is not easily visible, and leaving the shop. Even if it is 20 rupees or 100, it is shoplifted, and those people who are having this attitude, they feel pleasure in doing such things. Products like bath soap, products like snacks or certain brands of chocolates which are available at 60 rupees, 75 rupees. Even dry fruits, their 1 kg pack is available at 800 rupees. Cashew nuts are available, 1 kg pack is available at 800 rupees. Even if it is 100 rupees or even if it is 100 gram, its price is 80 rupees or 100 rupees. And in such situation, if such type of products are stolen away by customers, number of customers every day visiting an organized retail store may range from 2000 to 3000. The product assortment from floor wise, one floor, second floor, third floor, it may be all put together 40,000 to 1 lakh different category of product. And likewise, even if every day around 3,000 rupees out of 3 to 5 lakh rupees daily sale, if even 3,000 rupees shoplifting is happening from customer, it comes to 90,000 rupees for 1 month and 10 lakh 80,000 rupees for entire year. And this 10 lakh 80,000 is absolute loss, 100% loss for that retail store. This shoplifting may be inner, their own employee, floor assistants are doing it, or customers who are coming from outside are doing it. Shoplifting should be stopped, but we have to take utmost care that we shouldn't behave like we are having doubt on every other customer visiting the that shop. That way we have to take very much care. Certain cosmetic products, even if it is a 10 gram tube or soap like Dove, they are small in size, but their prices are 200, 250. And likewise, if Phyten creams box is stolen by any customer, that costs around 2,000 rupees. So if one person becomes successful in doing shoplifting, he will not keep quiet. There is strong chance that he will come once again, and he will inform his close friends that the shop which is available in our area has loose security. People just come in and go. Nobody is there to take care of what is being purchased and how many items are going out of exit counter. So in such situation, these all shoplifting practices, malpractices should be stopped. At the end of the day, when employees, floor assistants, sales executives are leaving their duty, or shift wise they are leaving duty and another person is coming, their bag and their physical checkup has to be made mandatory. And to our surprise, shoplifting, whatever I explain you, who must be doing it more, men or women? Whatever shoplifting I explain you, that is theft in short. Items without any billing taken away by customers or internal employee. Now, who must be doing more shoplifting, men or women? What is the chances you think?
Women, sir.
Huh?
Women.
And what made you to say women? Why?
So actually, it's my advice and opinion, because it seems in May, means I have observed many times, sir, because in my relatives, the recently it has happened by 3 or 4 ladies. It was the apparel and cloth shop. So she has stolen, kind of, they having groups and they just stolen, and the quantity is like more than 8 or 12 saris. So it is my experience. So that's what the reason I have just told you.
You are talking of this incident
Yes.
from Vadgaon,
No, sir. Here in Wagoli only.
Wagoli,
Yes, sir.
because
And we having.
the same incident
Yes, sir.
happened from few women, and one of that woman was block leader of one very popular political party, and it became news on ABP Maza, IBN Lokmat, GTV, and many other news channels. She was block leader.
Yes, sir. Actually,
Huh?
sir,
Hello.
so we already having footage, but yeah, we already having footage of that lady.
Now what happens? Shopping is like an habit which can't be left by women. The way a man may have habit of smoking and drinking, shopping once in a month, once in a 15 days is always a liked activity by women. Now, attire wise, women are having more clothes. When it comes to physical checkup, there are certain limitations for physical checkup for women. The way we can behave or we can have cross verification for men, it is difficult for women. Whichever retail organized store it may be, Big Bazaar or Shopper Stop, if you see the crowd, you will find more number of women are coming for shopping and less number of men. They have very much liking for shopping as an activity, and on account of all these advantageous factors for them, certain bad intention people with this bad intention taking undue advantage of their gender, and that is why shoplifting is more found among women than men's, because men's as such, when go for shopping, what is required for them, needed for them, wanted for them, that much they check up and they pay at the counter and leave it. There may be certain exceptional cases also, but when they are purchasing one shirt, at the most they will look for 3 or 4. But when it comes to women buying and having plan of buying garment, for sake of buying one sari, they will check minimum 20. They are very choosy and critical in nature when they are buying product what they are want for their personal use or family use. And in such situation, on account of crowded area, congested area, when number of billing clerks at the cash counter are less, there is a chance that instead of shoplifting also, number of items required to be billed were less and number of items carried from basket were more. These all factors and these all possibilities are there when women are doing shopping along with men's, along with children's. So these all factors are relevant with market basket analysis. Now in this retailing analytics, I have tried my level best with available sources to collect study material and to make you aware of retailing analytics. In coming 2 days, I will be preparing your comprehensive concurrent evaluation. My preference will be for more marks to be given for multiple choice questions. Apart from that, I will prefer to go for uh, PowerPoint presentation to be given. Altogether, I am supposed to prepare 50 mark comprehensive concurrent evaluation, which is including any two types. Either prepare answers on open book test, prepare case study, prepare Microsoft PowerPoint presentation, or have multiple choice questions. As your exam itself will be on MCQs, I will prefer to give you more number of MCQs in your CC also, comprehensive concurrent evaluation. So that way you can have more number of questions in your study material. And here I am finishing my fourth topic. I will be having another one topic to complete for retailing analytics. I don't know how much lectures, minimum 3 I will require, even if I have to finish it very fast. But I feel I should get 5 number of lectures in coming week also for this fifth number of topic. This fifth topic is lengthy one and having too many subtopics at a time. So for finishing this fifth topic, I may require another 5 lectures minimum. So based on all these syllabus completion, we will have our retailing analytics as a subject internal finished with us, so that you can prepare your study, you can go for your exam, and you can have good score also. So with this, I am finishing my fourth topic. Please wait for 1 minute. Don't go anywhere. I will have check up with my syllabus copy. Please wait for a while. Okay, student, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
So fifth topic is aspects of retailing analytics, and it is having marketing analytics, then merchandising analytics, store operations analytics. These are three main subtopics, and within that, with promotion, promotional maturity curves, pricing, all the 4 P's of marketing are included when it comes to retailing analytics. That is promotion, pricing, product, and place also. When it comes to merchandising analytics, what type of products are sold in a retail store? What specific strategy is used while keeping product available? That is assortment. Now, assortment planning is required. When it comes to buying jeans, we are buying jeans based on its size, from size 28 up to size 44, and jeans for male and jeans for female, of whatever age group that male or female it may be. Based on gender and based on size, a person can choose different size of jeans, and that's to different brands of jeans with variation in prices, low price, economical price, and higher price. So that way assortment of garments is happening. Now, apart from merchandising in assortment, there are product placement, product adjacency, category intelligence. All these factors are prioritization of product categories. These all things are included in merchandising analytics. Now, store operations analytics. What all are the factors are important when store management is done? How a store is managed by branch manager of that store using analytics to optimize staffing plan. HR, what is the HR policies used for that store operation? Sales trend, supply chain analytics, all these factors are included in aspects of retailing analytics. These all factors, I will source study material. Books also are available, but not all retailing analytics is covered in retail management books. That may be of Dr. Swapna Pradhan or other few authors like Valerie Zitman and Mary Jo Bittner. So these all factors are included in your 5th chapter, which is the longest one compared with other 4 chapters. I will be having your session tomorrow at 12 o'clock, 12 to 1. And let's see from Monday morning how we can schedule it. I will talk to Ajatikar madam and will let you know. At this moment, I am although finishing early, but I started early also around 11:55. So at the moment, thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.